Have you ever really thought about what's going on inside your gut on a daily basis? Well, today we're taking a journey, a full 24-hour tour to really understand the science behind hunger, fullness, and this kind of amazing cleaning cycle your body runs every single day. Let's dive in. So, gut health, you hear it everywhere, right? It feels like it just popped up out of nowhere. But what does it actually mean? Well, it is so much more than just a wellness trend. It's really a huge shift in how we understand our bodies, placing our digestive system right at the center of our overall well-being. Okay, to kick things off, let's start with a really powerful number. A staggering 70%, that's 70, of your entire immune system is located right there, in your gut. And when you think about it, it makes perfect sense, right? Your gut is one of the main ways you interact with the outside world. It's your body's frontline defense system. So, how does this incredible defense system actually work? Well, to figure that out, we need to meet the trillions, and yes, I mean trillions, of tiny residents living inside you. Welcome to your gut's inner world. I want you to imagine your gut as this massive, bustling city. And the microbiome? Those are its trillions of citizens. This whole internal ecosystem, a super complex community of bacteria, viruses, and fungi, it influences pretty much everything, from how you digest your food to how you're feeling right this second. So when that city is well run, when it's diverse and balanced, it works for you. It helps with digestion, it produces essential vitamins, it's great. But when there's an imbalance, a state called dysbiosis, it's like a city in total chaos. And that can lead to system-wide problems, things that have been linked to all sorts of chronic conditions. And the gut's influence doesn't stop with your body. Oh no, it is in constant conversation with your brain through something called the gut-brain axis. And get this, your gut produces over 90% of your body's serotonin, the feel-good neurotransmitter. So yeah, a healthy gut can literally mean a happier mind. Okay, now that we've met the key players in this inner world, let's begin our day-in-the-life journey with that feeling we all know so well, hunger. What is actually happening in your body when your stomach starts to rumble? Well, it all starts with an empty stomach, usually about 4 to 6 hours after you've eaten. That emptiness triggers the release of a hormone called ghrelin. People call it the hunger hormone. It travels up to your brain, flips on these specific neurons, and sends a very, very clear message. Hey, it is time to find some food. So you've listened to ghrelin and you've had a meal, but how does your body know when to stop? The whole process is actually way more sophisticated than you might think. Let's get into the science of feeling full. You might think feeling full is just about your stomach stretching, but it's so much smarter than that. Satiety, that feeling of being satisfied, it's a complex chemical and electrical conversation happening between your gut and your brain. It's a feedback loop that brilliantly tells you, all right, the meal is over. And here's how that conversation goes down. As you eat, these stretch receptors in your stomach wall send physical signals. At the exact same time, your gut starts releasing satiety hormones. All of these signals travel up this superhighway called the vagus nerve, they hit the brain, and they flip the switch from hungry to full. It's incredible. All right, now for a part of this story you probably don't know. And honestly, it's one of the most fascinating things your body does. After you've eaten and before you get hungry again, this crucial cleaning process kicks in. It's time to meet your gut's invisible housekeeper. I love this analogy. It perfectly captures this amazing system that's working behind the scenes, tidying up after every single meal to keep your gut healthy, clean, and in perfect working order without you even knowing it's there. It's called the migrating motor complex, or MMC for short. The best way to think of it is like a powerful, rhythmic street sweeper for your intestines. Between your meals, it sends these waves of electrical activity all the way down your gut, clearing out leftover food, debris, and preventing bacteria from building up where it shouldn't. But here is the crucial part, the real key. The MMC only works when you're not eating, when you're in a fasting state. It kicks in about an hour or two after you finish a meal and needs at least 90 minutes for just one full sweep. Snacking, even a tiny bite of something, stops the process cold and resets the whole timer. This is why giving your gut a real break between meals is just so important. So with all this science in our heads, from that microbiome city to the MMC housekeeper, what can we actually do about it? Let's turn all this knowledge into a practical, powerful playbook for our own gut health. First up, fuel. Fiber from things like fruits and leafy greens is essential food for your microbiome city. Fermented foods like yogurt and kefir, they bring in new beneficial citizens. Those are your probiotics. And prebiotic foods like onions and garlic, they act like fertilizer for the good guys already living there. And of course, water is absolutely key to keeping everything moving along smoothly. And beyond what you eat, it's about your habits. Giving your gut 3 to 4 hours between meals, that lets your MMC housekeeper actually do its job. Managing stress and prioritizing sleep, that directly supports that gut-brain axis we talked about and keeps the communication lines clear. And finally, just moving your body. Regular exercise is one of the best ways to increase the diversity of your microbiome, making it more resilient and healthy overall. When you really think about it, your gut is like this dynamic, living garden. It responds to what you feed it, how you treat it, and the time you give it to rest and reset. So the real question is, how are you going to tend to your garden tomorrow?